We can do this.
I was hoping to get your question.
Yeah.
I'm on here and I'm having hard time.
Yep.
Hello here.
I just want to ask one question. My daughter's getting out of school. I've saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loans.
Public?
Am I going to get my money back?
Of course not.
Am I going to get my money back?
Of course not.
Am I going to get my money back?
Of course not.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a clip that is resurfacing on the internet that is going viral of Elizabeth Warren's failed 2020 presidential campaign, in which she was confronted by a parent about the Democrats' plan, or her plan. Well, it really is Democrats' plan. That's what we're going to talk about here today, to forgive student loan debt, as this parent rightfully feels robbed by the fact that he was being responsible, okay, with his student loan debt, right? And the Democrats are trying to reward people who are not responsible. And I want you guys to take a look at Elizabeth Warren's response, because this is exactly what every single Democrat thinks, okay, of responsible American citizens and how the government is entitled to their money and to give it to people who are not as responsible and are not fulfilling their personal financial obligations. Take a look.
We can do this.
I was hoping to get your question.
Yeah.
I'm on here and I'm having hard time.
Yep.
Hello here.
I just want to ask one question. My daughter's getting out of school. I've saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loans.
Public?
Am I going to get my money back?
Of course not.
So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us that did the right thing get screwed.
No, it's not anybody got screwed. When we
Of
started,
course we did. My buddy had fun, bought a car, went on vacations. I saved my money. He made more than I did. But I worked a double shift, worked extra. My daughter's worksheet is 10. So you're laughing. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. We did the right thing, and we get screwed.
I appreciate
That's
it.
all right.
All right, go right ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what Democrats think about working class Americans that are actually financially responsible. Now, I'm not sure if this guy, this parent, this father, was referring to paying off his daughter's student loan debt or him paying off his own personal student loan debt, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, what he's saying is that, well, my family, we don't have any student loan debt, right? We went to school, we paid off our loans, we saved money, we did what we're supposed to do financially. Am I getting my money back? And if you listen to Elizabeth Warren, she said, of course not, right? Of course not. And she said it quick, right? You're not getting paid back if you did the right thing, if you did what you're supposed to do. If you fulfill your financial obligations, you're not getting paid back. However, if you chose not to do it, right, the government is going to basically forgive your student loans, right? They're going to forgive your student loans. They're going to let you go scotch-free. You're going to get rewarded, okay, at the expense of taxpayers. Not just the people that pay back their student loans, but also people who chose not to go to college, okay, who paid into that system because the government takes money from the taxpayers to loan it out to people who want to go to college with the expectation that that money is supposed to be paid back to the taxpayers because that's where the government gets the money from. Apparently, failed progressive politicians like Nina Turner don't understand this concept, which is probably the reason why she's a failed politician. But again, guys, what you see there is the Democrat Party in a nutshell. Working class, responsible taxpayer citizens get put to the back of the line, right? Democrats don't prioritize those people. They don't care for those people, right? That's not their base. That's not who they're trying to appeal to. Who they're trying to appeal to are the worst among society, right? The people who don't really pay into the system, the criminals, right? The people who don't fulfill their financial obligations, okay? Because nothing's their fault, right? They shouldn't have to do what everybody else is expected to do. And they're rewarded for their bad behavior. They're rewarded because they made bad financial decisions in regards to what school to go to and what degree to pursue, okay? While not actually presenting a solution to the problem, right? Which is something we're going to talk about here because the Biden administration is closing in on student loan forgiveness and an extension of the repayment pause. Now, this comes right before the midterms. And we know why he's doing it, because this is an easy way for him to get votes. And I've said this before when talking about the student loan debt forgiveness conversation and whether or not the Biden administration is going to do it. I disagree with it, but it honestly is a smart political move for the Democrats. I knew that the Democrats were going to save this right before the midterms, because this is what can motivate progressives to get out and vote. If progressives don't vote, the Democrats will lose. That's the reality of the situation, right? They need their progressive young voter base to come out and vote, or else, again, they don't have a shot. So they're going to wait to do this right before the midterms so that progressives are motivated to vote. They say, look, we're going to give you a little bit of it right now, right? We're going to forgive some of it. And if you keep voting for us, maybe we'll forgive all of it. Which begs the question of, where does this stop? Okay, because if you forgive student loan debt now and you don't actually fix the problem, right? The problem of students incurring this massive amount of debt that they actually can't afford to pay because they're going to college and getting these useless degrees that aren't worth anything, then only thing you're going to do is come back in a few more years and people are going to be saying, hey, I need my student loan debt forgiven again, right? They're going to have their hand out again, right? That's exactly what is about to happen. And the Democrats know this. They know that, okay, well, now in the future, all we got to do is just forgive student loan debt every few years and we can get votes. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening. Which, again, creates a very perverse incentive here. Why pay back my student loans if I know there's a chance that the Democrats are going to forgive some of it every few years? What's the point of paying, right? What's the point of paying if I know they're just going to forgive it? Again, this is desperation, man. The Democrats are desperate. The White House is likely to announce a student loan relief plan as early as Wednesday that would forgive up to $10,000 for some borrowers and further extend the current freeze on loan repayment, according to several people familiar with the plan. The details of the highly anticipated plan remain in flux. Those people caution. The White House has been considering for months canceling $10,000 for borrowers who make $125,000 or less annually. All right, so here's the thing. This is what the plan is. We don't know exactly what the details are going to be, right? The final details, but it looks like Biden is actually going to do this, right? He's going to announce it soon. It's going to be $10,000 and the cap is going to be $125,000 a year in income. Now, they're doing this because of the criticism that they received from this idea that, well, if you cancel student loan debt for everybody, then you're basically canceling the debt of doctors, lawyers, engineers, high-earning people, right? People who went into careers that earn a whole lot of money that should be able to repay their loans back, okay? However, I don't think that this makes it any better. Saying that, well, we're going to forgive the student loan debt of people that make less than $125,000 a year. Well, what about those people who worked hard, right, last year to, I don't know, make more than $125,000 a year, and they have student loan debt? Do they not deserve to get their student loan debt forgiven because they decided that, hey, I'm going to get a promotion or a raise, you know, I got a new job, right? I did something to actually try to earn more money, so now you're getting punished because, well, dang, I just lost out on $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. Or it still doesn't solve the problem of if you made less than $125,000 a year and you repaid your student loans back like you should have, do you get your money back? Of course not. This is robbery, man. The Biden administration is basically about to announce the robbery of the American people. Because, again, student loan debt, this is how it works. The government takes money from the taxpayer. They give it out to students that want to go to college with the expectation that students are going to pay the taxpayer back. The government says, look, you don't have to pay us back. Basically saying that the taxpayer, hey, you're not getting paid back because we told these students that, hey, you don't have to pay us back. Government didn't give us an option to opt out of it, right? They didn't give us an option to opt out of contributing our tax dollars towards the student loan debt program, right? They didn't give us an option to doing that. They just robbed us blind. We're about to get robbed from the government, courtesy of the Democrat Party. And they think this is right. And this is not the first time we've been robbed in the last few years from the government when we're talking about giving out loans, right? As we got robbed during the pandemic with the PPP loan program, right? The loan that the government gave out to businesses to cover payroll during the pandemic. that basically was a stimulus check for corporate America. Okay, now don't get me wrong, a lot of small businesses took that money as well too. But I'm just saying, a lot of it went to a lot of big businesses, right? Now, those businesses are some of the businesses that benefited the most from the PPP loans, right? So we got robbed by corporate America. Now we're getting robbed by students who don't want to pay back their student loan debt, right? Again, who's footing the bill for all this? Responsible taxpayers, responsible tax-paying citizens that are fulfilling their financial obligations. They're paying their taxes, they're paying their student loans back, and you get screwed over once again from the government, right? This time, strictly from the Democrat Party. And the worst part is they won't present a solution to this problem. The problem of student loan debt, which exists because we have an inefficient higher education system. There are private colleges that are not worth it. They should not exist, but they're being subsidized by the government, okay? There are colleges that are giving out degrees that simply are not worth the return on investment for the students that get them. They should not exist. It should not be a thing. You have students racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt to get a degree in gender studies, a degree that will never, ever, ever allow them to pay back that money. And this is why the system is so effed up. Because we're not actually canceling kids and educating kids on the financial decision they're about to make when they go to college. It's one of the biggest financial decisions of their lives that kids have no guidance on whatsoever. Zero guidance on. And the government thinks it's a good idea to give them a loan, right? A loan to go to school to get a useless degree. But if that same 18-year-old wanted to start a business, the government will say, nah, right? We're not giving you a loan to start a business. It's too risky. But we'll give you a loan to go to school and get a degree. A degree that, again, is a terrible return on investment. The fact is that our public education system is messed up. We're not teaching kids any skills. We're making them woke and dumb. Okay, they don't know anything. They don't know how to do anything. They don't know the basics, right, of how to survive. So they're pressured to go to university where they don't learn any of the basics there either. But they get this useless degree, this piece of paper that says that, hey, you know, you got a bachelor's degree. And then that piece of paper is barely enough for them to go and get a decent job, right? A job that won't even allow them, they don't make enough to pay back the money that they borrowed to go and get that degree. And the Democrats continue to encourage people to go to college and participate in this system, right? And then turn around and rob the American people by saying, well, we'll forgive the student loan debt of these people. You know, the ones that made bad financial decisions, okay? They didn't fulfill their financial obligations. But the people that did, that made good choices, that did fulfill their financial obligations to the taxpayer, screw you. Which is exactly what Elizabeth Warren basically told that parent who confronted her about the fact that he did what he was supposed to do and he's not getting paid back for it. But people who didn't do what they supposed to do, they're going to be rewarded for that. Again, it shows you exactly who the Democrats prioritize. And it's not hardworking, tax-paying, financially responsible citizens. It's not. It's not. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.